I started skating when I was almost 4 because I was sick and my doctor said she need to go take some sport. I like attention. I like camera. I want to be like star in the sport, but not in life. Figure skating and life, it's two different lives for me. What I'm doing on the ice, it's my work, but in the life I can play. I really love competing. Thousands of people look at you and you're alone there. It's so hard. I feel good there. I feel fun there. I love competing.
At 16, Irina Slutskaya made a name for herself by winning the 1996 European Championships. But her early stardom led to complacency, and only 3 years later, Irina hit an all-time low, struggling with both her weight and her confidence.
It was tough, I thinking like done with skating because, I'm like, I don't want to do this because it's not interesting. I was so sad about it. But I love skating, I can't live without skating.
After taking some time off to refocus, Irina came back with a renewed determination.
I say myself, if you want to skate, you need to work hard. And I just forgot everything and I start from beginning. And I'm just starting new life. Everything what I'm doing is going from my soul, from my heart, It's myself, it's me. Of course I want to be first. Everyone want to be first. But I want to stay normal girl in life.
Normal. You win an Olympic gold medal and your life is anything but normal. But Irina seems to be pretty much serious here.
Yeah, she is more serious than she normally is in these practices. We haven't seen her bubbly personality or her smile. We actually haven't seen a whole lot of Irina because she's been training 2 hours away in Logan where the Russian team was training prior to the Olympics.
Well, every Olympics I've covered, it seems like the last person to arrive has the hardest time adjusting to the surroundings and the facility. It'll be interesting to see just how normal Irina can put her long and short programs together.
Thank you, Bob. And there is Sasha Cohen warming up. Just a few moments ago, Sarah Hughes, the American 16-year-old, skated her short program, and we'll be showing you that after Sasha skates. Sarah Hughes skating just a few moments ago, the first of the elite skaters to skate. But now, Sasha Cohen is on the ice, the 17-year-old from Laguna Niguel, California. Some have described her as brash. Remember, she handed the phone to President Bush at the opening ceremonies. And John Nix, her 72-year-old coach, and he has had quite a relationship with the 17-year-old headstrong Sasha Cohen. He makes jokes constantly about who's running this show. And a final word there.
The problem with going first after the warm-up is you don't get the whole warm-up. You need about a minute and a half to recover, get your strength back up, and kind of recharge your legs. So you don't get a full warm-up like the rest of the competitors, and that may be a factor. She looks a little bit tighter in this warm-up than she has all week in practice.
She has very, very little experience to draw upon. This is her first most important competition. She's never really competed in any major world championship before. She is arguably one of the most talented skaters, certainly one of the most talented skaters I've ever seen. She's got it all. Technical ability, artistry, and a spirited personality.
Yeah, she does have the spirit, and she's tying them up tight. Sasha, the kind of girl that your teenage son would naturally be attracted to, and the kind that would make you a little nervous when she asked him out.
She looks so young, though.
Bloody nose.
Yeah, we got him. Okay.
Do I have any blood on my
Representing a program she has choreographed herself with her coach, Mr. Nix.
very important. Good speed into this. Triple Lutz into double toe. Triple Lutz, double toe, beautiful. 2 1-foot landings.
Footwork into the triple flip. Gorgeous.
Spiral sequence coming up, and look at the extension, flexibility. She has to fill an entire circle.
By far the most exquisite I've ever seen.
Position on this layback is perfect.
One jump left, the easiest, the double axel.
Whoa! Took off a little bit off the heel, saved the landing. Big. One thing I've noticed with Sasha, if the judges are being very picky. So far, the skaters have been severely deducted for the most minor mistakes. Whether that split jump was an added element or not, it's up to the judges' mind. But she needs to fill this footwork sequence out all the way. It's a little bit narrow, a little bit shallow, so she could lose a 10th or 2 just on that pattern. They've been so specific with their deductions. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
No sign of nerves there. She took it to them as she skated her short program.
Combination right here, triple Lutz. Let's see if she gets over the inside edge a little bit. Just a little on that inside edge on the takeoff. Lands it a little outside the circle, but lots of speed for this easy double toe loop. Both 1-foot landings.
But her spins are just fantastic. In this layback, her position is completely, as Scott said, perfect. The leg position, the arms, the speed. She's got it all.
Anyone else I forgot? Scott?
She is taking a class at a high school.
Well, it is the overall quality, isn't it? She is so special, and everything she delivered with such confidence.
Those are nice-looking marks.
Ladies short program, 16-year-old Sarah Hughes from Great Neck, New York, in her first Olympic appearance, though she does have extensive international experience, including a bronze at the 2001 World Championship. The final word there from her coach, Robin Wagner. Sarah recently on the cover of Time magazine, but is about as grounded as you can get. Kept that way, no doubt, by 5 brothers and sisters.
During practices, Sarah has seemed to be the most effective of all the women, the American women here, by the magnitude of the Olympics. She's practiced well, but very seriously.
Every competitor but one in this event does a triple Lutz combination. Sarah opens with double axel. Beautifully landed. Technically, the programs are similar in difficulty. It's going to come down to the details. Mandatory deductions for any failures. The quality of every element is so important. Combination triple Lutz. Double loop. Really close to the wall.
Jump, footwork, into the triple flip. Slight hesitation on that landing.
But it drew a smile from her.
The judges are expecting such a high standard at this competition that they'll be looking at every single little detail.
Sequences is a spiral step sequence, and this is something that the American women do better than any of the women in the world. Look at the extension, the height, the flexibility on these elements, spiral positions. Pattern looked a little shallow.
They must complete a full circle or oval and close that circle.
You can almost see the pressure to lift from her as the program continued.
That is the loosest we've seen Sarah all week. A wonderful performance for her. However, there are some deductions in this performance.
The last thing you want to do is give the field even a tenth of a point. There'll probably be some minor, tenth here, 2/10 there. Every one of these judges has a panel in front of them that has instant replay. They have 30 seconds to put in their marks. They can look at these instant replays. All they do is touch the element they want to see, and they can see if they have any questions on the quality of that element. But that's what you want. You want to go out there and not touch your elbow or any other body part. Combination here, a little inside edge in that triple Lutz right there on the takeoff, and she just steps right up into a nice, easy double loop, very close. Now watch the edge. It's supposed to take off an outside edge, which would mean leaning on the outside of the foot. Right there, she should take off a little bit on the inside edge, a lot on the inside edge, and that could be a 0.1 to 0.3 deduction, depending on what the judges felt. How long did she spend on that inside edge?
This is the triple flip after her footwork sequence, where she stopped the cadence of the footwork, which will cost her a little bit. Nice jump.
Might have been a slight 2 foot on that landing.
2 foot on that landing. She's happy.
Yeah, she was very pleased with it.
Short program at the Olympic Games. Again, it's a cliche. I'll say it right now. You're not going to lose, or you're not going to win the gold medal in the short program, but you could certainly lose any chance of having it with any mistakes.
Scott, again, if you're going to use cliches, you got to get them right.
I'm sorry, man.
With Robin Wagner, you know, what's the most important thing to most 16-year-olds? Getting her driver's license. Well, Sarah hasn't even learned how to drive yet because she rides with Robin from Long Island to Hackensack, New Jersey to train and does her homework. She says she's been doing her homework in the car since she was 10 years old.
Well, again, any deduction is a strong one, and the little things add up a lot. We'll be interested to see what these judges do with these marks.
The marks for required elements.
Element marks.
And there are deductions, and these are low compared to what we're used to seeing her get. They're going to nitpick because these women are so equal in their technical ability. It just comes down to a 10th here and a 10th there.
5-1 from the Russian judges.
Well, the judges have to do this. By our calculation, they could have deducted as much as 0.8 on the little errors that we found. See, the marks are up. This is her base mark.
Sarah Hughes, the first of the elite skaters to take the ice.
Michelle Kwan will skate in this next group. She's waited 4 long years for this moment. Silver in Nagano. This is her second chance to win Olympic gold. Again, Tom Hammond, Scott Hamilton, and Sandra Bezic.
Thanks, Bob. As Michelle warms up, this group includes not only Michelle, but also the 2 Russian medal contenders, Irina Slutskaya and Maria Butriskaya. And so far, with the skaters that have completed the short program, the 2 Americans, Sasha Cohen and Sarah Hughes, currently 1-2. And as the 2 American teenagers skated not long ago, it's like they set the tone for the whole competition and also, I guess, applied the pressure too, huh?
Just as we expected. But what Scott and I were talking about during the ice make was that the judges are really taking apart each element and really applying all the appropriate deductions. So this is a very, very tight competition.
Well, they have to. If you look down the element sheets for all these competitors, all their elements are similar. They're doing triple Lutz combination. Most of them are doing triple flip. And Michelle's warming up a nice double loop there. You want to get in the rotation position and put your feet under you, get the feel for the ice, the atmosphere. Warm-up is so important. But, again, it just comes down to the details. Irina Slutskaya flies across the ice. Very athletic skater. Doesn't have the same level of artistry, line, or carriage that the American women have. But she's definitely an athlete and a force on this international scene. These judges know her and they respect her. Maria Butriskaya, the elder statesperson in this group.
And certainly the most determined competitor. She is not as gifted as some of the other women here, and yet she manages to place in the top 3 and 4 often, just because of sheer determination.
Well, by now everyone knows the story. Michelle Kwan parting ways with her longtime coach Frank Carroll in October of last year. And now, rinkside when Michelle skates, it's her dad. Not as her coach, but just for support. And there is Danny.
And I would suspect that he is even more nervous than Michelle because this is his first time at the Olympics.
Well,
and not Michelle's.
What he just did was really good. All you want to do is nod yes a lot. Just stay out of the way. Don't say anything. Just nod yes a lot. Don't put anything in her head. Just nod yes a lot. And hug her when she gets off. Then his job is complete.
Michelle has said having her dad there by the boards has taken her back to her childhood when she was first learning to skate. And it's nice to have support so close at hand as she's doing something, I guess, that no Olympic champion has ever attempted before, and that is to skate without a coach at the Olympic Games.
Well, by the time you get here, you know, your coach has done his job. When you step alone onto this huge surface of ice, you are truly alone. There's nothing a coach can do for you. And I think that probably going into this year, Michelle knew that. She knew that every lesson Frank gave her is still with her, and all she needs to do is just go out and be completely on her own and do this for herself by herself.
She's taken full responsibility of this event, and I think that is such an impressive move.
Well, Michelle feeling not only the presence of the 2 Russian skaters, but now also her American teammates, Sasha Cohen and Sarah Hughes, who began their competition in the short program with pretty impressive skates. First time in the Olympics. Michelle's the Olympic veteran, her short program, and this entire group when we return. Herself before it's her turn on the ice. First up will be Vanessa Guzmaroli of France, 23-year-old who lives in Paris, was 6th in Nagano, and the bronze medalist at the 97 World Championships. What's interesting about Vanessa is she's an elite-level water skier. In fact, the 1999 French champion in trick water skiing. Her dad is a water ski coach in, of all places, Albertville.
Vanessa has struggled with consistency. 3rd in the 97 Worlds, 16th in 98. Her opening move here, triple Lutz in the double toe. She's a big jumper, but sometimes gets out of control. No problem on that one.
Footwork into the triple flip. Very easy, almost non-existent footwork. Nice triple flip.
But there will be a deduction on not doing the connecting steps into that jump, as much as a 0.3 deduction. Last jump, required double axel, forward takeoff.
Jumps have gone well.
One of her better performances. Relatively simple sequence of footwork, all rotating counterclockwise. The judges are often looking for reverse rotation as well within the footwork.
Vanessa Guzmaroli of France. She skates on water when it's liquid with her water ski skills, and over the frozen stuff here at the Olympic Games has given a good short program. Learned to water ski about 15 minutes away from the site of the 92 Winter Games. We'll have her marks when we come back to the Ice Center. Vanessa Guzmaroli of France awaiting her marks after the short program.
And the one deduction that she will get is on the connecting steps into the triple flip. Beautiful triple flip, but no connecting steps. That will be a 3.3 deduction.
The program was less sophisticated than some of the others we've seen, and that's reflected in this set of marks.
Judges' placements all the way from second back to sixth. Meanwhile, overall, third place for Slutskaya. Now, Irina Slutskaya expected to contend with Michelle Kwan for the gold medal in the weeks leading up to these Olympic Games. She turned 23 years old on February 9th, fifth in Nagano.
Also here representing the Russian Federation.
At her best is a jumping machine.
She's effervescent. She has not practiced well here, but that doesn't mean anything for Irina. She's not a good practice skater, and that's perhaps why she's inconsistent as a competitor. But when she's on, she flies.
When the games began, did a lot of training up in Logan, Utah with the rest of the Russian team. Her husband, Sergei, stayed home as he always does.
Opening right away with her combination.
Big, big triple Lutz right into the double loop.
And easy.
strength again is in her athleticism, physically so strong.
That's why I find this particular selection of music interesting for her, because she's really trying to work on her grace and elegance here. Footwork into a triple flip. Solid as a rock.
The music you mentioned is Serenade by Franz Schubert.
Great speed on that layback spin right there. Footwork sequence here, all done on one foot. She never changes speed.
And that makes it far more difficult.
Final element, combination spin. Look at the position and the speed. Biellmann spin here. Change of foot. And the only woman in the event that does that, a back Biellmann spin. Solid, no deduction.
Oksana Bayul, the 94 Olympic champion.
She may not be as pleasing to watch as Sasha, but she's given the judges no reason for deduction.
Irina Slutskaya opening her challenge for the gold medal. Her marks coming up. Slutskaya awaits her marks.
Irina has so much power to her skating. This is her combination, her Lutz combination. Good entrance. Look at the height. Just fantastic into a double loop, which is a little bit more difficult than a double toe loop after the Lutz.
Required element marks, and they're high.
There you have it. No deductions.
Especially with the explosive jumping. She did a nice footwork sequence into that triple flip. Everything was delivered cleanly. The spins were great.
Three judges placing her second, but overall, Slutskaya takes the lead.
There's always a constant pressure, especially when everybody's eyes are on you. You can gain strength from that pressure, or you can let it sort of eat you alive. I had a rough few months. Changing coaches. Changing choreographers.
One to the other.
I got a lot of criticism. I mean, it is hurtful to hear, like, Michelle's gone crazy. What is she doing? I was putting myself together. You know how when you finish a puzzle, you've got the last piece and it finally fits right perfectly in the middle, you know, and everything comes together.
For this practice session, I have 3 selections.
The Olympics, it's very different than any other competition. I've learned a lot since '98. If I had to do it all over, if I had the chance to, I would. I did a clean short, clean long. I just missed that spark. I didn't break out of the shell. I didn't go crazy. The appearance was I was cautious instead of turning it up a notch. Maybe it looked a little stale. And in 98, you come so close. And when you stand on the podium, it's like, God, there's one step higher than me. This is my second time around. And then you just don't know how many more Olympics you're gonna be in. So you just have to soak in everything. I still love Frank. And I think we were both hurt because we were ending a great 10 years. But I wanted to take responsibility of my skating and try to make decisions on my own. It is so nice having my dad down right next to the boards where all the coaches are. He's not the coach, but he's the cheerleader. I'm very comfortable with him there. I'm 21 years old now, and sometimes you have to make your own decisions. I learned the best thing to do is to listen to your own voice.
Four years is a long time to wait for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. You know, and the short program can be so cruel because every deduction is mandatory. You need to skate this program as clean as possible. Just get me in the top 3 and I've got a chance for gold. That's all you're thinking about in the short program.
Beyond that, she's found a joy and a happiness in her skating once again. And I think that has meant more to her than anything, and even perhaps more than the results here for her personally.
And unlike Nagano, has taken full advantage of the Olympic experience here in Salt Lake City.
Well, the further away you get from your Olympic experience, the more you realize that the process is everything. Regardless of Nagano getting to stand up there on that podium.
Presentation. 5-0.
Combination triple lutz and a double toe. Beautiful.
Double axel.
sequence there. He's done putting the triple flip later in the program than other skaters. Oh, slipped off the toe a little bit, still lands it. Oh!
And her trademark, an exquisite spiral sequence.
They love her, the top U.S. skater for almost a decade. The ice showered with stuffed animals and flowers.
A personal victory, an inspired performance. There's her dad.
A thumbs up from Danny.
Nowhere near the kiss and cry.
She called him over.
She's calling him. He's awfully shy about this.
Well, you sense that she was checking off each element one at a time, but she skated with a cautious spark. She did have some fire in her eyes.
She did not have the speed that Irina had, nor the strength technically, the size of the jump. She worked that, but it was inspired.
Beautiful artistry in this program. Beautiful.
It's all about Michelle, her energy.
Slutskaya, the leader, is being interviewed backstage while Michelle waits on her marks.
What an incredible competition, though. We've seen so many clean performances, and we're dissecting the little details.
The quality of the skating has just been great.
Well, what Irina had was speed and power. Michelle had with grace and flow across the ice. The toe on that triple flip, though, that slipped out. That was just, that's training right there, to be able to slip off the toe and still pull off a beautiful triple flip. That's training.
Here come the marks. Required elements. 5-6 from the U.S. judge.
Those are close.
Presentation.
And
5-9s all the way across.
And that's her strength right there, is the beauty and the artistry of her skating from top to bottom. 5 judges to 4. Puts her in first place.
Her brother and sister applaud. After all the build-up, the short programs have lived up to what we expected. Canadian champion Jennifer Robinson. And Jamie Saleh applauding her Canadian teammate. Jennifer engaged to be married this September to Shane Dennison, a former pair skater. They've been dating for 8 years.
This program is all about flirting. Guess it worked.
like the Canadians and the Americans are more interactive the way they put their programs together. Looking into the crowd, picking up a lot of speed. Combination here, triple Lutz. Double toe.
Very nice. Jennifer's had problems doing a lot of 2-foot jumps in competition, but this year she's managed to overcome that.
Has to keep the meter and the tempo of these steps going into this triple flip. A little stop there, but not bad. Triple flip.
This street scene music was the first piece of music she listened to when looking for short program music. Didn't take long.
So many women choose soft lyrical music because it's easier to jump to that. You don't have to commit to a specific note.
Last jump, double axel. Again, forward takeoff, 2.5 revolutions. It looked like she caught her toe a little bit on the way up, but her foot came through nonetheless, and a beautiful double axel.
Jennifer's from a skating family. Her brother Jason is the captain of the Greensboro team in the East Coast Hockey League.
All in all, a very nice job. Maybe one minor deduction on that triple. Kurt Browning looking on, 4-time world champion. All in all, a solid performance. Some of the elements were not as strong as you'd hope to compete with the top ladies, but that should put her easily in the top 10.
Jennifer Robinson of Canada. Bouncing to her step, huh?
She's been bouncing since she's been here. She's been very interactive. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Hey, Scott, how you doing? Hey, Sandra, how you doing? It's just been great. She's been enjoying the whole thing, and she's so lively and friendly and outgoing and just enjoying every moment of her Olympic experience. Watch this. Again, reaches back for this triple Lutz. Important to keep it on an outside edge. Really good outside edge there. 1-foot landing, reaches back, just easy tap. 1, 2, double toe loop. No deductions on a combination that every one of the women in this competition except for one's doing. Steps into this triple flip. She broke the steps to get into this triple flip. Little deduction there for breaking the steps, but right there, oh, just gets around. Another 1-foot landing. Double axel. Now watch her right foot as it comes through. It looked like it might have just ticked the ice, but again, no deductions there. 1-foot landing.
How do you like that?
Isn't that fun?
Waving
so
to the Canadian
fun.
contingent up there.
That's so much fun. I like going out and not falling in my short program. That's a fun thing. That's a good thing. Doug and Michelle Lee, their coaches, and Doug Lee has had so much success, but he's just thrust energy all over the place.
He coached Elvis Stoico for many, many years. Brian Orser, responsible for, and Takeshi Honda, responsible for so many champions.
And awaiting Jennifer's marks. Required element marks.
Pretty solid.
You know, when you finish, 18th in one Worlds in 99 to 8th the next year to 15th the next year, show consistency problems. Sometimes the judge doesn't know who's going to show up. But tonight, the better Jennifer Robinson showed up, and she did a very nice short program.
Jennifer Robinson of Canada, and we still have a lot more skating to come on the ladies short program. The ladies short program is nearing its conclusion at the Salt Lake Ice Center. And here are the top 6 in the standings to this point. Michelle Kwan, Irina Slutskaya, Sasha Cohen, and Sarah Hughes, the top 4. And trying to make that final group, Victoria Volskova. She's the 3rd Russian skater, just 19 years old, her first Olympics.
Her strength is definitely her jumping ability. She hits so much air, carrying a lot of speed into this opening combination of triple Lutz, double toe. Watch the height on this, every bit as big as Slutskaya. Unbelievable! She couldn't control the landing. Turnout, that was just too big to control. The amplitude. Past, she's had trouble going into this triple flip and landing it cleanly, but it's just such a pretty jump. You hate to see her miss it. Double.
An inconsistent competitor. Known for her jump, she has worked a lot on her choreography, and it has made a difference, but the concentration on the choreography seems to have taken away from her concentration on her jumping ability. Beautiful position. Noticeably disappointed.
Always a pure jumper. Struggled with her consistency when she started adding artistry to the program. Nice double axel there. A little bit protecting on the landing. Traveling a little bit on this back, layback.
After she made the mistake, she pretty much let this program go. She's not fighting to keep her points up on all the other elements.
And that's just experience. Shallow pattern with a circular step. You need to take these circular steps all the way to the wall. She's a good 15 feet right in front of the judges. So they'll definitely take an attempt or two off of that.
She'd like to start that all over again.
You have to think that she just let go of it for a second after that triple Lutz was so beautiful and so big. Couldn't hold on to the landing. 10th of a point deduction there. And then she came down and just lost it on the triple flip, becoming a double. Unfortunate. Just errors that she shouldn't make because the jumping is her strength.
Here's that combination. It is huge. Beautiful, beautiful jump.
Right off the outside edge. Good height. Just, can't
slow
stop
on the
rotation.
landing. Slow on the landing to get that free leg out for the double toe loop.
Sometimes if you rush this flip a little bit, if you rush that toe loop, rush the toe going into the flip, it'll turn into a double.
Those
and
eyes look scared, though,
and
going
right
into that.
There, her arms are gone too soon. There's nothing that she could do. You need to line up your hips and shoulders and get into a pure air position. She pre-rotated her upper body and could not pull it in for 3.
Many thought that the final group of 6 skaters in the free skate on Thursday would be 3 Americans, 3 Russians. But Victoria may not make that final group.
Well, you're allowed to do a double in the program, so it's not really a deduction on the triple flip, but you need to do a triple there in order to be up with the top skaters and to be competitive with them on the base mark.
That's right. And she also let the whole performance drop. That will cost her.
This weight seems to take years. When you know you made a mistake, you wonder how much the deductions are going to cost you. And then the slow marks. It's like, come on.
We've admired her work in practice. She has a style that kind of flies across the ice.
And just 19 years old, first Olympics. We forget that because 4 times she's won the European bronze medal and been to the World Championships a couple times.
And these deductions are significant because if she places in the top 6, she'll be in the last warm-up group with the top women in the free program.
I saw one of the judges using an eraser. Does that mean anything to you? There's a pen there. There's no going back on these.
Well, they do have instant replay right in front of them, so they can go back and look at different things. But her problems in that program were obvious.
Required element marks.
And even with minor deductions, the base mark came down when she doubled that triple flip. They know it's a mistake. They know how well she can jump. Again, presentations improved greatly, but 2.51s, those reflect the fact that, as Sandra said, she gave up on the performance.
And overall, she is in 10th. Welcome back to the Salt Lake Ice Center, where the ladies' short program is winding down. And next to skate is 21-year-old Galina Maniashenko from Ukraine, who skated pairs for 5 years until a horrible practice accident when her partner's skate hit her in the face. She was severely injured, spent a year and a half away from skating, returning as a single skater and placing 4th in the recent European Championships. First Olympics.
And the way she moves, it's almost like she should have somebody standing next to her. It's kind of the way that she grew up as a pair skater. Everything is very immaculate.
She has a beautiful straight back.
Opening with her triple Lutz combination. Lutz came down about a quarter turn short of the rotation and had to step out in the double toe loop later.
Footwork into her triple flip.
Breaking the steps there will cost her. And again, couldn't hang on to the landing. Seems like somewhat of an insignificant element, but you saw how the Americans delivered those. What an impact they can have. Michelle Kwan's especially.
We were commenting on how strong she looked in the warm-up. And somehow, within the 3 or 4 minutes that she had to wait before a performance, she lost that confidence. It's written all over her face. That's what the Olympics can do to you.
It's right into that camel position. Nice position there. Very quiet artistically. You can tell the crowd has thinned out quite a bit since the contenders have skated. It's calmed down here quite a bit, and you can see it in her face that she's just sort of somewhat indifferent to her effort tonight. Disappointing 7/10, probably as many as 9/10 in deductions on that program. Disappointing effort.
"21-year-old Galina Maniashenko from Ukraine studies at a sports university in her hometown of Kiev.
She has a lovely fluid style that she just wasn't able to apply in this performance.
Triple Lutz looked like it got off the ice, but watch on the way down. She'll reach back here, pick, she'll glide left, pick right. Now she's going to get up in the air. It doesn't look quite. Now watch the landing right there. She came down just a little bit short with her left hip behind her. Couldn't hang on to the landing. You've got to be completely squared off. Adds a double toe, but right there, 3/10 deduction.
And then this sealed it for her. Her footwork was very easy into the triple flip.
Anytime it's tilted left and you're short of rotation, it's really difficult to hold the landing. If you're tipped right, sometimes the edge will hold, but they're a 4/10 deduction.
The short program can be devastating because you have your 8 elements. You're only allowed to try each of them once. There's no second chance. And your whole season can be over in a matter of seconds.
You're only in the air for 0.75 seconds if it's huge. Half a second if it's just enough to get around 3 times. And in that half a second, your whole year can be finished. Tough time when you know the deductions are coming.
Distraught, at least getting some comfort, a little hand holding, on the verge of tears.
The judges marks for Galina Maniashenko, Ukraine.
Seems forever for these marks to get there, especially when you've skated poorly.
Much longer than the men's short program. It seems like the break is much longer.
The marks for required elements.
The judges in this event have been very careful to be accurate with their deductions. I think we've agreed with just about everything, haven't we?
Well, the 5.0 is a little generous considering her problems, but 4.5, you can see presentation marks go up a great deal.
You can tell from the look on her face, though, she was expecting better in her first Olympic appearance here in Salt Lake City. We'll be back later to wrap things up, but for now, let's send you back to Bob at the International Broadcast Center. Hughes was the one that led off the skating this evening. The 2 American teenagers, Sarah Hughes and Sasha Cohen, setting the tone for the competition. Irina Slutskaya and Michelle Kwan followed. But it was Hughes that had to lead off in an unenviable position, but she was up to the challenge.
Checked off each element one at a time. Minor deductions, but she set the standard for the rest of the field.
Skated with energy and passion and the excitement of a teenager.
And Sasha Cohen didn't appear to have Olympic jitters at all.
She's not afraid of anything or anyone. That double axel went up a little bit sideways, but she fought for everything.
Irina Slutskaya, well, she skated very well, not just athletically this time.
She came out with speed, and she did everything perfectly. All the jumps and all the spins.
And all that power.
So the pressure was on Michelle Kwan.
And she showed why, that she's been on that world podium 6 times. She skated like a champion. She skated with fire, and she delivered everything beautifully.
Well, in this short program, the quality of skating amongst the contenders was really top-notch. What do we look for on Thursday?
Wow, what an amazing competition. If we can see on Thursday competition like we saw tonight, it will be a phenomenal night. What amazed me, though, was the strength and the presence of the 3 American women able to sustain this kind of pressure in the host country. It's just unbelievable.
Everything about it was great. You have Sarah Hughes coming out and setting the tone. Then Sasha Cohen, this is her coming out party. She's never competed at this level before, and she just commanded the building. And then you have Irina Slutskaya that comes out and does exactly what she always does, challenges Michelle Kwan, and then Michelle came out and said, all right, I'm up for the task, and she delivered the goods. It was a wonderful evening of short program skating.
Everyone expecting Michelle, of course, to be right there in her home country contending for the gold medal. She appeared to be really at ease.
Oh, she's amazing. She just pulled everything inside. She took command of this rink. She did not let the weight of the world's expectations fall on her shoulders. She took full responsibility, and in a way it was a very private performance for her.
How many of us could wait 4 years for another try and then come out with that kind of composure? I was totally blown away and thoroughly impressed. She's a great champion.
We were talking about how hard our hearts were pounding when all of these women were skating.
I was so nervous.
Michelle Kwan leads the competition heading to Thursday's free skate. We'll have live coverage Thursday night.